Hi everyone. So I thought I'd just do a quick video unpacking, unplasticking my Moleskine 2026. I know it's only June. It's not about, having it early or anything like that, but some of us do want to grab these journals earlier in the year, and it might be worth noting, is the paper holding up, where it's from, that sort of thing. Okay, so this is, I use my Moleskines. So this is the daily, the large size, and I use them for, I call them my life book, my rebel sister, and I'm not doing a flip through because that will be for another time. I throw a lot of stuff at it and a lot of pens and whatnot. Not arty, other than coloured pencils and coloured markers and things like that, but I don't throw watercolour at it. Now, I wish I could tell you where this one was manufactured, despite the fact that I keep so much junk because it is a junky journal. This is my life ephemera, as I call it. The piece that I kept, because I thought to myself, well, of course I've got it somewhere, because so in my 2024 Moleskine, I cut it and I only have the front, this front bit of it, so I don't know where this one was manufactured, unfortunately. I really would have loved to have compared. I do know that my bullet journal, for some reason I've got the back of that one, the Moleskine bullet journal was manufactured in China, but yeah, it doesn't really help, does it? Okay, but I'm going to unpack this, and I'm also going to do a pen test just to show you that on the 2025, this year's one, it's fantastic. We know that Moleskine paper isn't the best. It isn't made to be the best. It isn't made for fountain pens, but I tell you what, it holds up really, really well. You can see here, nothing has come through except for the Furunosuke, which I would expect. They're quite juicy, especially the green one, and the Stabilo Boss, which is an alcohol type of marker, so I would expect that to come through. But look at that, that's not bad. I mean, super, super ghosty, but not only a tiny little bit of bleed through. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. So that's what I tend to pen test. I get my blackest black and juiciest ones, and if they do it, then the rest should be fine. This is Parker Quink ink, which is my preferred ink for fountain pen for general writing, because it tends to be the least to bleed through. That's this one. I'll link it down below. It's fairly fast drying for an ink, for a fountain pen ink, and it's done pretty well. Now this one here is Parker Quink in a medium nib, and this one is in my 2B Eco. It has come, it's a little juicier in the 2B Eco in the medium nib. I'm trying to think, I'm thinking it must be one of these pens, this one, the Koeko. That's a medium nib, so I'm thinking it must be that, because that's the one I use a lot. So generally the ink is very fast drying and rarely bleeds, but of course it also depends on your nib. But otherwise pretty good. The microns, which I use a lot, have performed really well. All of these are really dark, and they're all ghosting, but nothing horrible, nothing really horrible. It just obviously depends on your needs and what you want it to do. And I also find that they perform a little better on the line pages than even these back pages. But it's a good test. If it works well here, I know it's going to work well in the rest of my journal. Just seeing if I can show you an example. I mean, I've got Tombow there. You can see it's just even barely ghosting. It's just not even a problem. So I'm loving it. Love life booking. So this is the 2026, and this one says, where is it? Here. So this one says manufactured in Turkey, designed by Moleskine in Italy, of course, but manufactured in Turkey. So that's interesting. I think in the other video I was seeing, whose was it? It must be Seaweed Kisses. I think she's done in the past. I can't remember now, but I feel like I've heard her say some of them being Taiwan or Korean and some Chinese. I'm not sure, and I'm really frustrated that I don't know what my 2025 is, because that would be it'd just be interesting to see. Anyway, And of course I'll keep this for my journal, my junk journaling. Ooh, I tend to keep this treat for towards the end of the year, but oh, I just love getting a new journal. It's so nice. I love it when it's like this, when it's crazy, and I love when it's nice and fresh. So I'm just checking if there's anything different. Let me go towards the back. Okay, printing looks the same sort of darkness, same line spacing. The months, extraordinary moments. Okay, so everything the same that we would expect. All right, so it looks the same. Nothing looks like it's changed. I mean, that was a very quick look because I am really mostly interested in the pen test. When I do the Pentel Touch, the Pentel Sign Touch pens, I do have 3. I always choose my darkest ones. It's just impossible. Look, that's why I've got a bit of masking tape. That's just a quick tip. If you have pens that look the same, slightly different colour masking, not masking tape, washi tape, and then I can pick it out from my little tin there. So I just choose the darkest because if, you know, the darkest works, then if the darkest one doesn't work, I might try sometimes the next one down to see what I can get away with. So I'm not trying to do great writing or anything. I'm just writing how I normally write. Okay, I'm going to speed this up because you don't want me doing this over and over, and then we'll just have a look at the end what it looks like, you know, if it's coming through. Okay, so I've done my darkest black, so I don't need to do all the other ones. Now, there's something I was just noticing, and I don't know whether it's my eyes, but this is whiter. The newer one is whiter, and I'm not happy about it. So one of the things we like about the Moleskine is that it has cream paper. I mean, ivory paper maybe. It's not quite cream, but it goes towards the cream rather than a very white colour. We're talking like a tiny amount, and I would still not call this white, but it feels more white. It feels less creamy than this one. So I'm a little bit sad about that because I do like the creaminess. When I compare it to my Stalogy, I can see that it's definitely not white. I'm not expecting this to come out in the video. Let's just see. Let's see what comes out. So I don't expect it to be the same, and it's not. This is bright white, and this is like an off-white. I wonder if I can show it a bit more like this. And this will be too subtle to show, but yeah, I think it's just too subtle to show. It's definitely not the same, not quite the same off-white. Yeah, I definitely will call this more like an off-white. It has a sort of greyish off-white look to it, and this one is definitely more in the cream. So it's super subtle. I didn't even notice when I first opened it, but I think intuitively I felt a certain whiteness to it that is not part of my Moleskine experience. So it wasn't until I started writing. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but it's really like, you know, first world problems. Like, it really is very, very subtle. And like I said, it still isn't bright white. So we still have off-white. So that's okay. So I'm really happy with that. And did I actually show you? Okay, let's have a look. I'm not sidetracked to the colour of the paper. Okay, let's have a look. Let's get this the same. I mean, I would say it's pretty much exactly the same, maybe even slightly better. Yeah, it's really difficult to see on video, but I would say it's maybe 2% better, but I think that 2% could be how hard I've pressed here compared to how hard I pressed there, that sort of thing. Ultimately, I think it's the same. So, good news, yay! The paper is just as good, and I mean, seriously, like the Stabilo Boss, like, never would use that in here, but you can get away with it if you're fast. If you're fast, you can get away with it, and also if you stick something behind it, you can get away with it. So if you really want something black, and you know you can put some ephemera or something in the back, then you can get away with it. Loving it, loving it. Okay, so this is, as I said, manufactured in Turkey. At least I can say for this Turkish one, it's doing all right, it's performing all right. So I hope that's helped anyone. I would love to hear from anyone else if yours is from manufactured somewhere else, and to see how it compares if you have similar sort of pens. You know, most of us have Tombos and the Fudenosuke, don't we? Okay, I hope that's helped, and see you next time. And if you want a flip through of this one, I might do it. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, bye.